Throwaway time. What's your secret that could literally ruin your life if it came out? I decided to post this partially because I'm interested in reaction to this, as I've never told anyone before, and also to see what out there ducked up things you've done. The sort of things that make you question your own sanity, your own worth. Surely I can't be alone. 40,700 comments, 12,900 upvotes. You're all a part of Reddit history right here. Thanks everyone for your contributions. You've made this what it is. This is my secret. What's yours? Link. I'll edit. Obligatory. Duck the front page. I'm reading every single comment, so keep those juicy secrets coming. I'll edit too. Man, some of you are ducked up. That's awesome. A lot of you seem to be contemplating suicide too. That's not as awesome. In fact, kinda not awesome at all. Go talk to someone and get help for that shit. The rest of you though, duck man duck. I'll edit 3. Well, this has blown up. The #3 post of all time on Reddit. I hope you like your dirty laundry aired. Cheers everyone. 2.5 years ago I was in dire financial straits. So I sold my home to keep my struggling business afloat. I neglected to tell the owners that they have an 800 square feet bunker on the property that I built about 7 years ago. The bunker that I've called home since I sold it. The entrance to it is well hidden, but I still come and go very early / very late in the day. I'm a single man who keeps to himself. I'm now in a situation where I could move somewhere else, but I love this hidden paradise so much. Deleted. Background. I'm a guy in my late 20s who was taken into care aged 7. Everyone around me already knows that I was brought up by foster families because I had a shit early childhood. I deliberately keep it vague and say stuff like I'd rather not go into it so that people will just assume I was abused in some way and they'll stop asking about it. The truth is that for the first 7 years of my life, I was brought up as a girl by my psycho birth mother who really wanted a daughter and didn't let the snag of giving birth to a boy stop her from trying to raise one. She was a pretty successful professional in a legal field, not entirely sure what, and had me via anonymous sperm donor from a fertility clinic. She found out I was a boy at a late ultrasound and then moved across the country, gave birth to me at home, and continued to move about until I was 5 or so. It was just the two of us all my life. We had contact with other people, of course, but they rarely got very close. I had lots of friends, but was always supervised. I found out way after that my mother's strong puritanical Christianity was a lie. She used to explain why she was so strict about me being private and never letting anyone see me get changed or anything. I just accepted all of this as fact, having never been told anything different. I was sent to a religious school for girls and had a really great childhood. I was a bit of a tomboy and played with Lego and toy animals rather than dolls and stuff. But that's not unusual and no one ever questioned I was a girl, even me. I knew about men and women, but had never really seen much of naked people. My mother never ever spoke to me about it, but I kinda had the impression that when I grew up and got boobs and stuff, my dick would kinda fall off or something, and I would be a woman, and other kids would keep their dicks, and they'd be men. I dunno. To be honest, I never really thought about it anyway. I carried on with my happy girlhood, and had a bunch of friends and everything was great, until I was 7 and a teacher accidentally spilled a cup of hot coffee over me at school. The liquid soaked through my clothes and was scalding me, so the staff immediately stripped me out of my dress and underwear to get the hot coffee away from my skin. And then they found out. The cops were called, and I got taken to speak with who I guess would be social services. They asked me a bunch of questions about life at home and stuff. Meanwhile, my mother was taken in for questioning too. She refused to acknowledge me as male and insisted I was her daughter because she was, now, delusional and stuff. I wasn't allowed to go back home, but got put with a foster family and went through loads of therapy and stuff. The worst part was that literally overnight, I lost everything. My mother, my home, all my toys, all my clothes. I moved school so lost all my friends. They cut all my hair off and told me I wasn't a girl anymore. It was really traumatic. The first foster home wasn't that great. They had 3 boys already, and going from a sheltered religious only child upbringing to a rough and tumble testosterone filled environment was really difficult. They tried to force me to be masculine, and I was just too confused about what they wanted. Anything girly was reprimanded, and I felt so lost and alone because nothing I did was right. I tried to commit suicide when I was 11, and again at 13 because I didn't feel I fitted in anywhere. After the second attempt, they moved me to a different foster family who were awesome. I consider them to be my parents. They actually stood up for me. The first thing was that they let me grow my hair. From when I got taken into care, they buzzed my hair short, and I hated it. They always had to hold me down and do it forcibly while I was crying and fighting. My new parents flatly refused to do it and said that loads of boys had long hair. They also let me quit karate and football and take up swimming and jazz dance. Since I'd been in care, no one had ever stood up for my right to choose what activities to do or how to dress before. It was amazing. In the end, I came out of it with a pretty healthy gender identity. I'm a guy, but not the most butch guy ever. But I'm fine with that. I went through school and got my degree and have a pretty good job and an amazing, supportive wife. Everything looks great, but I can never speak about my early childhood and how I grew up as a little girl. TL Road. I'm a guy and let people believe I was raised in care because I was abused when in fact I had a great childhood, except that my mother tried to raise me as a girl. Edit. Holy crap. I never expected such a response. Have finally remembered the password I used for this account and am answering any questions I find. Thank you, Reddit. Amazing story. Glad you turned out okay. Thanks. I'm just starting to do some volunteer stuff with kids who need people to talk to. I had a lot of therapy and stuff growing up, much of which was entirely inappropriate. I was in group therapy for kids who were abused at home, but I don't consider myself to have been abused, and I think that, although it was often annoying / pointless at the time, it really did help a lot. What I mean to say is that, yes, I think I've turned out alrightish, but it took an awful lot of time and effort to become alright. I speak 2 languages, so every time I received a new essay I would browse the topic in my own language and translate the text word by word to English, then submitted it. No one ever caught me for plagiarism before. Half of Europe does this. Not us Brits though. Learn another language? Don't make me laugh. 2015 update. I'm currently learning Spanish. 2018 update. Gave up on Spanish and switched to French after about 6 months. Moved to Paris about a month ago. I cut off all contact with everyone I know and moved to Kenya. I tell people a fake name and a fake background and have made it appear to my family that I died on boat trip in the Pacific. No, I'm not joking. I'm dead in the United States. 2-pack. Deleted. I run a cake business. I charge people hundreds for wedding cakes. Every last one is made using Pillsbury cake mix I buy for $1 a box at Walmart. I suck at baking. Every time I've ever tried to make a cake from scratch it sucked, but baking is like my whole deal. My friends all call me the cake girl. It's like my whole life is a lie. People compliment my cakes all the time, telling me how delicious they are, telling me it's so much better than box mix cake, telling me they could never bake a cake so delicious. Well, guess what? For $1, they too can make a cake just as delicious. Just add oil, eggs and water. In my defense, I love cake decorating. I make all of the frostings and fondant from scratch. I just hate baking ducking cakes. I base my prices mostly on the decoration of the cakes and not of the cake itself, if that makes sense. Still, no one knows about this except my husband. Even my best friends think I ducking slave over the oven mixing and baking these damn cakes. I have been doing this for years. If anyone knew, my business and reputation would be in the toilet for sure. / I keep telling myself I have to learn how to make the damn cakes without the box mixes, but I never do it. I feel like such a sham sometimes. Edit. Holy shit, I didn't expect such a response to this. I feel better about it thanks to a lot of these comments. Funny. I started this account as a novelty account and got bored of googling random cakes. to posters comments lol seemed perfect for this confession. Edit 2 months later I receive messages almost daily on this account. I'm so glad I used a throwaway. I forget to check this account most of the time and rarely see this stuff until weeks later. That said, to answer the main questions, yes, I know I can order cake mix online, but I don't make enough cakes for it to be economical. It's actually more expensive to order online. Honestly, I'm not incredibly worried about people seeing me anymore. If I ran into someone I would tell them that I was helping my niece with a bake sale or something. I have, since this thread, made some cakes from scratch. I'm still using box mixes for chocolate and vanilla. Oh, and red velvet, because duck all of that. Let's see what else. Oh right. I've received probably 100 comments saying the cake is a lie. We get it. It's very clever. But no. I'm sorry. You're not the first, second, third or 20th to say it. Overall, I've learned this is actually pretty normal, and that people from all over the world have a friend who makes cakes and they all think I'm their friend. So far no one has pinned me, but you guys had better check your friends' cabinets for Pillsbury mix. Edit Wednesday, June 17th, 2015. Alright kiddos. Here I am. A friend texted me and said my people need me, hahaha. I guess there was a thread that got big and mentioned this thread. Here's your update. I actually no longer make cakes. I got a divorce and moved into a much smaller home. At that point I had no place to decorate cakes. I was also really burnt out. It's an incredibly hard art, very time consuming and requires a lot of tools and space. About a year later, I moved in with my now boyfriend. We have a pretty big kitchen. I wanted to sell my equipment and tools and the billion giant cake pans I have, but he convinced me not to. He said I should keep it on the back burner for a while and see if I want to do it again later. He didn't know me when I was a decorator, but he saw the photos and told me it would be a shame if I never did it again. I want to share some photos, but it would so easy to trace them back to my old cake blog. Maybe I can find 1 or 2 photos that were never posted there. Edit January 2018. Once in a while these Reddit lore posts pop up and someone mentions my confession and I think to check this account. I'm incredibly tickled to be a part of Reddit lore. I have a sort of hilarious update at this point. About a year and a half ago I was diagnosed with a wheat intolerance. My intestines decided they no longer wanted to digest wheat anymore. Woo. I actually just thought I was dying for a few months. It was really stressful. Anyway, I can't even duck and eat cake anymore. I still have all of my equipment and whatnot. I make a quick cake now and then. But trust me when I say gluten-free cake mixes are better than anything I could make from scratch lol. Here's a cute little cake I made for my birthday last year. Link.com/6squared. It's not amazing, but it's not bad considering I rarely make cakes anymore. I still receive so many messages on this account. I'm sorry if I don't reply, but I never check this account. I've got everything in that inbox, from people trying to guess who I am, to people giving me recipes, to people begging me for cake photos, and one guy who wanted a video of me eating cake. Yikes. Anyhow, I'm getting married again. Woo. Second time is a charm. To a dude I met on Reddit, and our wedding planner asked me to please not try to make my own wedding cake because she has seen it end in stressful disaster so many times. I'm going to take her advice and leave the cake making to someone else. I do know Reddit, and I know some of you will call bullshit on this update, but that's fine lol. I literally have no reason to lie, and with all this personal information someone will probably finally realize who I'm for sure, haha. Update February 23rd. 2019. The never-ending editing lol. I hadn't logged into this account for over a year, but I saw someone mention me in a thread, so I logged in real quick. A zillion messages in the all inbox. Sorry. I don't really have advice on how to start a cake decorating business. I just did my best and was mostly given business by word of mouth. Lots of people messaging to tell me I ripped people off. I mean, not really. People duckin' love the cakes, and when it's all said and done a box of cake mix plus all the stuff it takes to make it into a cake probably cost around the same amount as the raw ingredients. And people love the cakes, so that's whatever. Lots of people asking if I would be mad to find out that my wedding cake was made with box mix. No, lol. Also, I was not charging anyone bakery prices. Anyone giving me a few $100s was paying me to make a massive cake that took me days to assemble and decorate. Also, my wedding was fantastically fabulous. We got a gluten-free cake from Milk Bar, and I paid another bakery $400 to make us a beautifully decorated 2-tier cake for the guests to eat. Everything was amazing. Oh, and here's some fuel to fire all of y'all's weird hate lol. I found this at the grocery store the other day. I'm over here about to ice up some gluten-free box mix cupcakes. Link. imga.com/mpi0yw. JPGPSPLS. Don't give this account gold. I'll lodge into it like once a year. Save your money. Donate it to a charity or something instead. October 2019 edit. I can't believe I can still add edits to this. Weird. Anyway, things are great. I haven't been baking much dessert, but I've been working on some gluten-free French bread and it's going okay. Some people have messaged asking my marriage. My husband is awesome. He's really the best, and it feels awesome to be with a partner who treats me as an equal. I have a lot of weird messages in my inbox. Some of y'all need therapy. I almost did an interview for a podcast on Reddit law, but I chickened out. Sorry lol. I'm just not great at doing interview kinda stuff, and was afraid it'd be super weird about it. April 2020 edit. OMG, I can't believe it's still letting me make edits to this. Jesus Christ. Quarantine is wild. All I do right now is watch 90 Day Fiancé and sew masks. So many masks. I guess this is my new thing. It's been really funny to see my post mentioned around Reddit once in a while. Especially when people add or change details like some kind of weird game of telephone. It honestly cracks me up. Keep being weird, Reddit. How does Wahmed not notice you pushing a cart out with hundreds of boxes of $1 cake mix? Hey, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.